Choose thy fate alone. Seize it with thine own hands. All the more should thy fate entail such foul betrayal.
The High Wall of Lothric marks your first steps into this kingdom, and from the outset presents you important symbols for the understanding of this game. We can see a lot of hollows who grew into trees looking at the grand archives in the far distance. It seems they are reaching out for this place, which is clearly in the center of the castle together with its highest tower. The other hollows are worshipping those hollow trees as if they want to become the same. They are not aggressive and are frightened of any signs of battle. Aside from the trees, they are also worshipping fallen dragons. Those dragons may be slain by Lothric knights and are slowly drifting away. Later we will see what the hollow trees and the dragons have in common and why they are treated like that. If you proceed through the high wall, you will encounter a statue of a person wearing Prince Lothric's clothing and holding the profaned greatsword. This statue is surrounded by many sitting armors. Those armors belonged to Lothric knights but now are empty and headless. This could mean that the hollows who grew into trees once were knights of the prince, and the owners of those armors left them for a reason. Right after this location you reach a fork. If you go right, you can leave this castle and explore the land below the high wall. If you go left, you can go deeper into Castle Lothric, but this path is blocked and you should explore it later. There are a lot of dead pilgrims who came from below the castle and try to proceed into it. Inside the cathedral you find Emma, the high priestess and former wet nurse of the prince.
The wait has been long, unkindled one. You will not find the Lords of Cinder here. They have left, gone, to their churning homes converging at the base of this castle. Head to the bottom of the high wall, forge on through the great gate, and raise this banner to proceed.
The lords are not inside the castle, and so you must leave in order to find them. Emma told you to walk through the gate at this road's end and raise the small Lothric banner, your key to leave this castle. This gate appears to be closed and seems to have a familiar shape. In Dark Souls 2, you start in the Things Betwixt, which serves as a link between Drang Lake and the outer world. You are in fact born into the Kingdom of Want through a crack in the cliff that is shaped like a vagina. The outer world was a synonym for the reality of the player, and while playing Dark Souls 2, the player was drawn into this world through the screen. The birth at the beginning of the game symbolized this crossing of the worlds. The gate in Dark Souls 3 at the outer border of Lothric Castle can be seen in a similar vein. By walking through it and raising the banner, you leave one world and enter another one, even though none of these worlds are the reality. Later we will see the true meaning of this transition, but for now the Great Gate is closed, and its keeper is not far.
Head to the bottom of the high wall, forge on through the Great Gate, and raise this banner to proceed. But beware. The dog keeps a close eye on things. The vile watchdog of the Boreal Valley.
Vord of the Boreal Valley, never far from the fleeting dancer. He wants to prevent that you raised the banner and reached the foot of the high wall. Vord is an Outrider knight who transformed into a frenzied beast when given the Pontiff's left eye ring by Pontiff Sulyvahn. This ring is reminiscent of the eye of a blood-drunk hunter from Bloodborne, which symbolizes the onset of the Scourge of Beasts, and no hunter can escape this fate. Vord is a beast himself, and killing him opens the gate to the bottom of the high wall. Now you are on the verge of being born into another world. The path behind the gate is destroyed, and before raising the banner, you have a very far look at the whole land. Before leaving Lothric Castle, you can see every single area on the surface that you are about to explore. The Cathedral of the Deep, our first stop in search of Aldrich. Farron Keep, consumed by a festering wood and home to the Undead Legion. The Road of Sacrifices, connecting the Farron Swamp with the church in the Undead Settlement, a village inhabited by many peasant hollows. The Tomb of the Abyss Watchers, above the Catacombs of Karthus and the chaotic smoldering lake. Irithyll of the Boreal Valley, the frozen city hidden in endless fog, above the Irithyll dungeon and the profaned capital, home to Yhorm the Giant. And even the Archdragon Peak in the distant mountain chain. The banner has a chain depicted on it, and it could be just another display of the symbol of the curse, the same symbol you find on the door of the Firekeeper's dwelling in the Things Betwixt. Raising the banner calls upon the messengers, and they may be familiar to you as well. In Dark Souls 1, after ringing both Bells of Awakening and slaying the Iron Golem, above Sen's fortress and in front of Lordran's high wall, you get transferred by Batwing demons. They fly you up the high wall right into the home of the old gods, Anor Londo. And now again, the same demons transfer you into the churning homes of the old Lords of Cinder. Later we will see why we must enter another world in order to find the Lords of Cinder, and why Prince Lothric cannot be found here, but in the highest tower of Lothric Castle.